I can't believe it's been 20 years since this came out. Since I've just had a last minute change of plans, it looks like I can throw this in after all for its 20th anniversary review. So here it is. This is my review of Roland Emmerich's disaster flick known as The Day After Tomorrow. Big D's, entertainment rankings and reviews. So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Dual, better known to you as the Big D, and this time around I bring to you a review of the 2004 sci-fi disaster flick, The Day After Tomorrow, released by Fox, directed by Roland Emmerich, who co-wrote and co-produced the film based on the 1999 book The Coming Global Superstorm by Art Bell and Whitley Strieber. Film stars Dennis Quaid, Jake Gyllenhaal, Sela Ward, Emmy Rossum, and Ian Holm, plus others. It depicts catastrophic climatic events following the disruption of the North Atlantic Ocean circulation, in which a series of extreme weather events usher in climate change and lead to a new ice age. The film was released on this day, May 28, 2004. Henceforth, today is the 20th anniversary of the film, after it premiered in Mexico City a week and a half prior. The film got mixed reviews, but still was a big success. But let's get into the story. Jack Hall, an American paleoclimatologist, and his colleagues Frank and Jason drill for ice core samples in the Larsen ice shelf for the NOAA. Of course, you know that means National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. When the ice shelf splits away. At a UN conference in New Delhi, Jack discusses his research showing that climate change could cause an ice age, but U.S. Vice President Raymond Becker dismisses his concerns. Professor Terry Rabson, an oceanographer of the Headland Centre in Scotland, befriends Jack over his views of an inevitable climate shift. Tokyo is struck by a giant hailstorm, and astronauts from the International Space Station spot three gigantic superstorms above Canada, Europe, and Siberia. Rapson's team in Scotland began noticing severe temperature drops from multiple buoys from the North Atlantic, realizing Jack's theories were correct, but the climate shift is happening too fast. Remnants of a hurricane spawn a destructive tornado outbreak over the LA basin, and three helicopters sent to rescue the British royal family from Balmoral Castle crash in Scotland after they fly into their superstorm's eye. Jack's and Rapson's teams, along with NASA meteorologist Jan Tokata, built a forecast model based on Jack's research, discovering the impact of climate change will happen in 6 to 8 weeks, later discovered as being 7 to 10 days. Rapson notifies Jack that siphoned frozen air from the upper troposphere flash freezes anything caught in the ice of the superstorms with temperature below negative 150 degrees Fahrenheit, which is negative 101 degrees Celsius, which was the cause of the helicopter crash. In New York City, Jack's son Sam, along with his friends Brian and Laura, participate in an academic decathlon, where they make a new friend, JD. The North American superstorm creates strong winds and rain that flood Manhattan in knee-deep water. All transportation halts, stranding of the city population. A massive storm surge inundates the city, forcing Sam's group to seek shelter at the New York Public Library, but not before Laura, in an attempt to help rescue two French-speaking tourists in distress from a cab, where a police officer cuts her leg between two taxis. Sam is able to contact Jack and his mother Lucy, a pediatrician, through a working payphone. Jack advises Sam to stay inside and warm, as the storm will only get worse, and promises to rescue him. Rapson and his team succumb to the European storm. Lucy remains in her hospital caring for bedridden patients, where the authorities eventually rescue them. Upon Jack's suggestion, President Blake orders the southern states to be evacuated into Mexico, while the northern ones are warned by the government to seek shelter and stay warm. Jack, Jason, and Frank make their way to New York. In Pennsylvania, Frank falls through the skylight of a mall covered in snow and sacrifices himself by cutting his rope to prevent his friends from falling in with him. In the library, most survivors decide to head south once the floodwater freezes, despite Sam's warnings. In Mexico, Becker learns that Blake's motorcade perished in the superstorm. Now I'm going to the final act and the ending. You know the procedure, like always. 5 seconds to stop this video, go to the description box below, fast forward to the time below. As I'm counting down now, if you've seen the movie already, please continue. Okay, you've been warned. Laura develops sepsis from her injury, whereupon Sam, Brian, and JD scour an abandoned Russian cargo ship that drifted into the sea before the water froze for penicillin and supplies. Although they find them, they also encounter a pack of escaped wolves from the Central Park Zoo. The boys fend off the wolves and make it back to the library with what they need as the eye of the North American superstorm passes over and freezes Manhattan. Jack and Jason take shelter in an abandoned Burger King. Days later, the superstorms dissipate. After finding people outside frozen to death, including those from the library who tried to escape, Jack and Jason reach the library, finding Sam's group alive. Jack sends a radio message to U.S. forces in Mexico. In his first address as the new president for the U.S. Embassy in Mexico, Becker apologizes on the Weather Channel for his ignorance and sends helicopters to rescue survivors, including Jack and Sam's group in the northern states. On the International Space Station, astronauts look down in awe at Earth's transformed surface, now with ice sheets extending across much of the northern hemisphere, remarking that the air never looked so clear. End of story. So, what did I think of The Day After Tomorrow? Well, I actually do like this film. It's been some time since I last saw this film. I actually have this on DVD. This film was actually one of the very first movies I ever actually bought on DVD back in in late 2004. Yes, this along with Spider-Man 2, Shrek 2, and Mean Girls. This it was among one of the first movie titles I ever bought on DVD. And I gotta say, it was incredible. I think this was just so incredible. This was just so incredible of a masterpiece from Roland Emmerich since Independence Day. Anyway, since I never got to see many disaster films aside from even Independence Day, this film was just so incredible. I don't care what anybody says. The film did very well, making $552 million worldwide against its $125 million budget. It became the sixth highest grossing film of 2004. Excuse me, I almost said 24. Oops. All right. Anyway, now although at the box office it lost to Shrek 2 over the Memorial Day weekend, but it was the second highest owning weekend for a film not to lead at the box office before Inside Out surpassed it over a decade later. The film currently sits at 45% on Rotten Tomatoes, saying that the film is a ludicrous popcorn thriller filled with clunky dialogue, but spectacular visuals save it from being a total disaster. Yes, I agree on that. Sure, its dialogue might be a little, no, but I didn't care. At least I wanted to see what it was like, to see how this could turn out, and it turned out to be really, really good. Roger Ebert described the film as profoundly silly, but nonetheless said the film was effective and praised the special effects. The Chicago Tribune wrote a completely negative review, which considered the film unworthy of publicity for the climate change debate it had created. But on the whole, it went on to win several awards, including Best Special Visual Effects at the BAFTA Awards and Best Film at the Environmental Media Awards. The destruction of Los Angeles scene won Best Action Sequence at the MTV Movie Awards when it was still the Movie Awards. And let's see, the score from Harold Closer was pretty good, and it actually won the Best Music Award at the BMI Film Awards. Yes, that was really something as well. So I gotta give this film credit for what it had to offer. Mhm. Now, of course, later that same year, Closer will also do the score for another film Fox put out, and that was AVP, Alien vs. Predator. Anyway, I had a blast watching The Day After Tomorrow. This was really a very good disaster film, and it got me to watch some of those old disaster films from long ago that had, natural disasters and why have you, like Earthquake and the Poseidon Adventure and the Towering Inferno. So overall, I think The Day After Tomorrow was definitely really, really something. It's just so incredible. I think this did. I don't know, this did better than any other film that had a little weird type feel to it and stuff like that, like Geostorm, which came out years later, or maybe an underrated film like When Time Ran Out. But still, it proved to be incredible. It did also spark some political and scientific criticism, but I really don't want to get into much of that because I don't want to really get into trouble and talking about that stuff. Thank you very much. Now, for our cast, we have Dennis Quaid playing the role of Jack Hall. He was very good. Jake Gyllenhaal's performance as his son Sam was really something. And Sela Ward played Jack's wife Lucy. She was good. Now, but I will say I did like Ian Holm playing Terry Rapson, who was good. But I gotta say, we have others, including R.J. Smith, who plays Brian, and Austin Nichols as JD. They were all very good. Dash Milk played Jason Evans, and J.L. Sanders played Frank Harris, Jack's two colleagues. There's also Kenneth Welsh, Perry King, Nestor Sarano, and many others. The list goes on. But I think the real big surprise was the film that introduced me to Emmy Rossum, who would appear in, the factual kind of Poseidon Adventure remake Poseidon a few years later. She played Laura, and I'm gonna say she was just so wow, incredible, amazing. Her performance was just so. I don't know why. I already said everything. This, of course, was the film that introduced me to her. I've got to say, she was just so incredible. I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but every time, but I can't help it. Anyway, the chemistry between her and Sam in some scenes was wow, was very was in a way heartwarming and emotional and what have you. But anyway, enough said. I must say, The Day After Tomorrow, just a disaster film. Would I recommend it? I'd say hell yeah, go for it. If you like Independence Day or maybe bigger disaster flicks, I think you'll feel right at home with this film. Definitely. So, what did you think of the day after tomorrow? Let me know in the comment section below. If you liked the video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Continue to help support my channel, make it grow, and make the views grow. And we'll have another video coming up soon. So, if you like this, check out my reviews of these other two disaster movies. You can check out my review of The Poseidon Adventure in the upper left hand corner, or you can check out my review of The Towering Inferno in the upper right hand corner. Or if you would like, go to the bottom left hand corner and see my review of Independence Day. And the bottom right hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.